Hello, I must say you quite impressed me this time. Yes, for the first comment, balloons, you got up to 75 guesses in the space of one entire week. It took you one whole week to reach 75 guesses. For the second comment, Kevin, we already have 63 guesses and it's just barely 24 hours later. Your creative abilities are really going now. I really am really impressed with all of you, and keep up the good work. All right, that being said, here are the first batch of guesses for Kevin. As I said, 63 of them. First, of course, it's Home Alone, yes, because of Kevin McAllister, the character played by Macaulay Culkin in that movie. And as silly as that seems at first, you have to stop and think about the name and the concept of the movie. A lot of interesting implications can come up, yes. Another one was, the second one was Kevin Bacon in Tremors. Tremors, then. Kevin Bacon comes up a lot, but then, you know, he is connected to everything, everywhere, anybody in the universe. So, third one is We Need to Talk About Kevin, which of course was that creepy little movie out a couple years ago. The fourth guess was the whole 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing. That whole game, and you know, that whole concept. The fifth guess was Kevin Bacon in The Following, the television series. The sixth was Kevin Yeager, a horror makeup effects artist who, among other things, has worked on Freddy Krueger and also on the Crypt Keeper puppet for the Tales from the Crypt television series. So that's the guess. The eighth guess, the seventh guess here. The seventh guess is Kevin Peter Hall, a very tall actor who had played the Predator in the Predator movies, and Harry the Bigfoot and Harry and the Hendersons. The eighth guess, and too bad it wasn't the seventh guess, but it's the eighth guess, Kevin Spacey in Seven. And then the ninth guess, Kevin Bacon again in Friday the 13th, because if you recall, he was one of the first victims of Jason in Friday the 13th. People don't remember that. Looked really good in a Speedo too. Then we have the 10th guess, Ireland. Ireland? Well, anything Irish, because Kevin apparently is an Irish name. Then we have the 11th guess is Up. Did we have that before? Well, of course, Kevin is the name of a bird in that movie, and some people think I'm doing this on purpose. Me? Okay, the 12th guess was Cabin in the Woods. In that movie, they're all betting on which monster is going to come up and kill the sacrificial lambs, and which one are they betting on. They have a big whiteboard, and they have all sorts of interesting monsters up there. You know, the merman, the zombie redneck torture family, the floaty Japanese girl, the ballerina, all of these other strange. What do they call the Pinhead type character in that movie? Fornicatus, demon of pain and bondage or something. All these strange, horrible monsters and creatures with all these exotic names, you know, werewolves, vampires, beasties, horrible goblin and dismemberment goblins, all these things written all over the board. And then in the little corner it just says Kevin, and nobody has bet on him. Nobody has put any money out on Kevin, and you never find out who that is. So that's what people have noticed, and they think maybe that's what this is all about. Cabin in the Woods. Okay. Then there's a little kid prophet named Kevin in Supernatural. That was guess 13. Guess 14 was Kevin Smith film Red State. That's a possibility. The 15th guess, maybe this has something to do, the Kevin Ware injury, the Louisville Cardinals team, really gory, nasty little bit of real gore on television. And maybe maybe they think I'm getting at some sort of dismemberment, gore and blood and sawing someone's leg off. The 16th guess was Kevin the Bird, not from Up. Kevin the Bird, little black raven that was dubbed Kevin the Bird back in when was the Coven? was that 2010 or 20? I think it was 2010. It was sitting there on the, maybe it was 2011. But anyway, the Coven Scare Zone. There was a bird called Kevin the Bird sitting up on the perched up there, and was just up Kevin. He came back last year. He was in, I guess it was 2010 because in 2011 he was in the Central Park Primeval Scare Zone with the bats and all of that, and the owls. He was up in one of the trees, and then he was back last year as well with the set pieces by the Mashorians in one of those graveyards. And so he's a recurring bird. Maybe they think it has to do with it. 17th guess was Ben 10, the animated series, because there's a character called Kevin 11, Ben 10. 18th guess was Tron, because of Kevin Flynn, the character from Tron. The 19th guess, a BBC television series called Kevin the Teenager. 20th guess, because of characters Kevin Dooley and Kevin Ryan, the video game Resident Evil. The 21st guess, Men in Black, because apparently Agent K is Kevin. The 22nd guess, Kevin the Sea Cucumber from SpongeBob SquarePants. 23rd, a Kevin Smith inspired doc comedy horror concept. 24th guess is Psycho. Apparently they see a parallel between Mother Bates and Norman Bates' relationship to that of the mother and son in the film we need to talk about Kevin, so they derive Psycho from the other film. 25th guess was Samurai Kevin the Blue Power Ranger. Go mighty Morphin Rangers. Morphin? Rangers, yes. The 26th guess is Kevin Bacon again, but this time in Hollow Man, which is an Invisible Man type movie. The 27th guess is Kevin from American Pie. Yeah, that's right. The icon is going to be Stifler's mom. 28th guess, Kevin Bacon from Stir of Echoes. 29th guess, based on Kevin the Bird, either from Up or the one in the park. The Birds, the Hitchcock Birds. And where do they hear that from, I wonder? Huh? The 30th one is Kevin Fisher in Final Destination 3. 31, someone just realized that Kevin meant gentle birth, and they thought maybe I meant the opposite, a rough, terrible, horrible, deadly birth like in the latest season of The Walking Dead. They're thinking, yeah, The Walking Dead. Walking Dead might have something to do with this particular thing. I want to point out, however, that in Irish, the old Celtic, but it says gentle birth, but that's another meaning of the word gentle. It doesn't mean gentle like a gentle little soft puppy or kitten. It means gentle as in high-born. Gentle birth meaning of noble birth, as in the original meaning of the word gentleman. Not someone who's polite, but someone who's of a higher class system. It has to do with the old English class system where you have lords and then you have commoners. So gentle birth, and by the name of Kevin, it meant that Kevin was born up in the nobility and the aristocracy and not in the peasants. That's what Kevin actually means. Just to let, because Professor, you know, that's pedantic, just my nature. 32nd guess was Scream. Why? Because screenwriter Kevin Williamson. 33rd guess, Kevin from Community. Yeah, Mr. Chang himself. Oh yes, and that is right, because Chang has the he thinks he's someone named Kevin. This, all right, after his problems. And then of course the wrestler Kevin Nash was guess 34. 35, based on the whole Kevin from Community. The video game Amnesia, perhaps as a reference from the Changnesia that the character currently has. All right, the 36th guess was Kevin Sorbo. They didn't guess Hercules, they just guessed Kevin Sorbo. 37th guess, I'm not even sure this really counts, but whoever it was posted, my Uncle Kevin. Now, how am I supposed to know your uncle's name, Kevin? I know a lot, but I don't know that much. Anyway, our 38th guest is Kevin McAllister. Actually, I think Kevin McAllister, it doesn't count because we already had Home Alone, so maybe I should strike that one off. And we've only actually had 62 guesses. I just realized that's what that is. Okay, so we've only had 62 guesses. I struck them because it's the same one. That's the same guess as this Home Alone, isn't it? Okay, so actually then the 38th guess is Kevin Costner. They didn't say what from, though. They didn't say Waterworld or The Bodyguard or what. They just said Kevin Costner or Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves or whatever. They just said Kevin Costner. 40th guess, Kevin James, again without saying what from. The 41st guess is truly frightening. I don't think Universal would ever do this because it would scare everyone away from the event forever. Kevin Federline. Still not confirming or denying anything, though. Just not confirming or denying anything. The 42nd guess is Kevin Eubanks. The 43rd guess, Kevin Pollock. I think they're just searching for Kevins here. The 44th guess, oh yes, based from the movie Home Alone, they came up with roaming horde of thugs carrying super soakers called the Wet Bandits. 45th guess, now this is a clever one. Kevin from Sin City, you know, played by Frodo, Elijah Wood, a very creepy character from that movie. Oh yes. 46. Someone figured out that Kevin Bacon will be appearing in the upcoming film R.I.P.D., which has been mentioned a couple times before. That Kevin Bacon, he does get around, doesn't he? Alright, 47th, The Weeping Angels. Why? Because angels were featured in the movie Dogma by Kevin Smith. Although, if you think about Dogma, there's other things that are a bit scarier than the angels. And they weren't really weeping. Although maybe I think, did any of the angels cry in that movie? Not doing this, but because they weren't the same kind of angels, but oh well. 48th guess, the TV series Cult. Maybe they were confused about the following. But it's a similar type program at the same, you know. Why is it that programs that are almost identical come on at the same season? They're just, no one has creativity enough to want to copy the other network. The 49th guess, I'm sorry, 48th guess, that's right, I'm one off. 48th guess is American Horror Story. And this is because in the Dead Breakfast Club, one of the members was named Kevin Gedman. If you've seen the movie, if you've seen the series, the first season, you know who I'm talking about. The Dead Breakfast Club, the sort of kids who got shot in the pseudo-Columbine-like tragedy, and they come back to haunt the guy who killed them, even though he's dead too. So, oh, I just spoiled a whole lot of the. If you haven't seen it, that's all right. Sorry. That was like season 1. We're almost on season 3 now, so get on. Okay. Let's see what's next. We've got guess 49, Kevin Ray Underwood, who was a real-life cannibal child murderer. Apparently, he killed some little girl and was going to make her body into smoked meats. Which brings us then to guess number 50, Bacon. Not Kevin Bacon, but just bacon. Bacon. Let's see, guess number 51. Kevin Bacon again, this time in the animated cartoon Balto. Then we have guess 52, Kevin the Dinosaur from Doctor Who. This is from the same person who tried to fit Doctor Who in with balloons. He really wants Doctor Who. Not a bad idea, but oh well. 53 is Kevin Conroy, who voices Batman in the animated series. Interesting fact. I've worked with him in the past because I was in the television series back when I used to be an actor about 30 years, not quite 30, 25 years ago. I was in a TV series called Tour of Duty in Hawaii. I was in the first episode of that, and I worked with Kevin Conroy, who played the captain of the unit there in Vietnam. I actually shared a dressing room with him. Okay, what was next? 54, Ogre. That is from Skinny Puppy, the band. His real name apparently is Kevin. He uses a backwards form of that Nivik. as his name, Nivek Ogre, but actually his name is Kevin Ogilvy. Kevin James in Zookeeper. Remember when we bought a zoo? We never bought a zoo! Anyway. Alright, Zookeeper. Right. So, guess 56. Kevin Bacon in Footloose. Gotta cut Footloose. Yeah. Guess 57. This is an interesting one. Beach blanket bingo with big bikini space elephants from a whole nother planet in 3D. See, he got this because there was a Home Alone poster with little Kevin like this and Michael Jackson lurking in the background. Won't even go there. But Michael Jackson was in Captain EO, and in Captain EO there was that elephant character called Hooter, and in one weird scene, you could look in his footlocker or whatever, in his bunk, and there was a very disturbing picture of an enormous, fat, female elephant bikini on a beach, space elephant. So that's where he got that idea from. Disturbing. Google it. Anyway, 58. The Cult of Gozer, or 59. A Mayan chupacabra house with an ogre, perhaps. I guess based on the house that got scrapped last year. 60. And they didn't explain why they got those out of Kevin, but 60. This is interesting. Hannibal, the TV series, or possibly Silence of the Lambs, based on the fact that Jay from Jay and Silent Bob was doing the disturbing dance from Silence of the Lambs that the Jamie Gum does, the sort of rather disturbing tuck between your legs dance, in Clerks 2, which is a Kevin Smith movie. 61, the 1998 documentary on Universal Horror by Kevin Brownlow, and 62 then is a 2013 documentary called Hellbound by Kevin Miller. So that's it. We have 62, not 63, because I realized one of those was the same. Kevin McAllister, that's this character from Home Alone. So that was actually 62 guesses in one 24-hour period. Good work, all of you. You should be congratulated. Alrighty.